genetics, and in this video we are going to discuss more about a disease known as sickle cell anemia. So far what we've done in genetics is definition of some common words and terms like genes, alleles, genomes, and gene mutation. So we are going to start off with a disease that is sickle cell anemia. Now the cause of sickle cell anemia is a base substitution mutation. So this is the cause. There is a base change mutation in a sequence of the DNA. So you know what happens when the DNA sequence gets changed? The mRNA that will be formed during transcription, that will be changed. And what happens when the mRNA codon is changed? The resultant polypeptide chain is going to be different. So what happens is in hemoglobin, now hemoglobin is a very important protein. In the beta chain of hemoglobin, the sixth codon for the beta chain of the hemoglobin, it is changed from GAG to GTG on the non-coding strand. So to understand this process, you need to understand the process that takes place in transcription. Now when this happens, this causes a change in the mRNA codon. So that is the first step that happens. The second thing is change in the mRNA codon. So the messenger RNA, it changes from GAG to GUG. And because of this, the amino acid that is changed is from glutamic acid into valine. So this is the change that happens. So basically the DNA of the non-coding strand, it changes from GAG to GTG. The mRNA, it changes from GAG to GUG. And the amino acid changes from glutamic acid, GLU, to valine, VAL. Now this change of amino acid, it alters the structure of hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin structure is altered in a negative way, obviously. And this causes it to form fibrous and insoluble strands. So this happens in the hemoglobin molecule. It forms fibrous and insoluble strands. Due to this, the red blood cell adopts a sickle shape. That is how the disease gets its name, a sickle cell anemia. So if the red blood cell, the original one, the correct one, looks like this, the sickle cell anemia cell would look like this. So it becomes sickle shaped. So what are the consequences of sickle cell anemia? The major consequence is that hemoglobin becomes insoluble. It cannot effectively carry oxygen. So it cannot carry oxygen effectively. Due to this, a lot of other things happen, and the individual can constantly feel tired. Additionally, because of the sickle shape of the cell, these cells may accumulate in capillaries and form dangerous and fatal blood clots. And because of this, they can also block the supply to the vital organs and cause lots of health problems. And because of low red blood cells, it causes anemia. Now, why is there a low count of red blood cells? Because the sickle cells, they are destroyed more rapidly than are the normal red blood cells. So this is about the cause and the consequences, but what about the genetics behind it? Now, sickle cell anemia occurs in individuals who have two copies. So it occurs in individuals who have two copies of the sickle cell allele. Let's suppose the one that has the sickle cell allele, that is represented by capital S, and The chromosome that does not have the sickle cell allele is represented by small s. So this kind of an individual would be having the gene in this form. That means both alleles are going to be of sickle cell anemia. So such a combination is known as a homozygote or a homozygous gene combination. Now heterozygous individuals, that means that have one sickle cell allele and the other one common. These heterozygous individuals, they show an exceptional characteristic. They have increased resistance to malaria. So they have increased resistance to malaria because of the presence of a single sickle cell allele. And this is known as a heterozygous advantage. So I hope it was clear what is sickle cell anemia and what are the causes, what are the consequences, and what is the genetics behind the sickle cell anemia. So that is all in this video. In the next video, we are going to take up another very important topic, that is meiosis. So thank you so much for watching this video. This is